If you wanna be my friend, you had better go and get a pen. And maybe we could keep in touch, like they did in the old days. It wasn't so long ago. Oh, and I wish you well.
Sign your pen, pal. No S. It's just me and Liz, who's here. She doesn't get a camera angle though. Look, guys, this is what. If we were a sad end of a movie, this is what it would be. And then like it would, I would like look up and you'd follow a feather up into the ceiling of the studio. And that would be, this is how it ended. I'm not saying anybody passed away, but it would just be me. If Rory was here, that's how it would end if he was here, but he's not here. Here's the deal. Rory, tit-bit under the weather. He's everything's okay. Guys, he doesn't have leprosy. I don't know where that got started. I've read it a lot as well, and he hasn't personally denied it, but I don't know where leprosy got started. I did not start it. So it's me, but we're not letting y'all go without a show. Here's the deal. This was supposed to be our anniversary show. And to be honest, what better way for pen pals to ring in their 4th anniversary by not doing it on time? So if anything, we're more consistent than we've ever been for you and him and me. Listen, don't laugh. So we're going to do that next week. Or in a few months, who knows? But it's not happening this week. So here's what happened. You get me, which is, you're getting 80-20 of the show. Let's be honest. Okay. You get me. And, what we're going to do is if you aren't a member of the the mashed Patatreon, then, that's got to stick. If you're not in the mashed Patatreon, I can't wait to lord that over him when I tell him I thought of it and he didn't even help. He gets no influential credit other than the fact that he probably started Paige. So who cares? He's got leprosy. So I'm not saying he does. So, man, what if he turns and he really gets sick and then I made light of it?
No.
I know, I'm not going to list. So, I mean, I already did. He's fine. He doesn't have leprosy. So, as soon as here's the deal, we're both in and out of town. The day we had to record, just didn't feel good enough to do the show, and we're like Chris Farley, but without all the sadness. Chris Farley without all the sadness. What I mean by that is, we're not gonna phone it in. We're going to bring it to you, the viewer and the listener. So here's what we are gonna do. I'm back on track. We have some patate in the mashed patate. We have episodes for you that you may have missed, that you didn't get to be a part of. Well, now you get to. So my literal loss is your literal gain. You're going to get to watch some patates that you maybe never have been a Patreon member before. I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to love it. I'm going to be super honest with you. It's because I'd like you to join. Both of us would. We're just two kids with one shared dream, born 24 hours apart. This is our destiny, okay? So, if you like this, it's $5. It's Patreon. Get in. You get follow-up letters. You get gems like the two of us. And now today, you get a gem of me. And one gem is good enough. Ask that old lady on Titanic, okay? So, I hope you dig it. I don't know if I'm going to jump back in between these to tell you about a live show that we're doing on August 2nd through Moment House at momenthouse.com/penpals. And you might be like, wait, what? Listen for the ad, player. I think that's all I have. You have anything? I agree. You don't have to give me that much credit. You're a good comic in your own right. All right. That's it. I hope you enjoy these 2 episodes. I can't wait to party with everybody next week or whenever we get around to it. My name is Daniel Van Kirk. That's Van Kirk Scovel. We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pal.
If you wanna be my friend, you had better go and get a pen. And maybe we could keep in touch, like they did in the old days. It wasn't so long ago. And I wish you well. Oh, sign your pen, pal.
Enjoys the end of a song and they take the tambourine. Like a
Yeah. It's on camera. So someday you're going to get to see what your face did there. Can I show you?
Yeah.
Just out of love of what was happening. You go. You did a tongue accentuation.
Let the music travel away from the microphone.
How do you fade out one of these?
It's a built-in fade out.
No.
It's a built-in fade out. Oh, there you go. Yeah. All right.
Oh, that's a show.
That's a show. That folks, thanks for paying the $5. That's the Patreon.
Would you? I mean, I wouldn't be unhappy with that.
I think it's fun. There's a tambourine. Look, I don't think the person who sent this, and the eggs, and
we have a mini tambourine. We'll bring that out.
I don't think they mentioned their name. So if you're a member of the Palpitanch, maybe you're a what is it, a patroni?
Patroni.
Maybe you're a patroni. But let us know so we can say thank you to you. Whoever did send this, thank you.
Do you remember Big Business?
This is insane. Someone sent this.
Do you remember Big Business?
The movie?
Yeah. Lily
No.
Tomlin, Bette Midler.
Oh yeah.
She always had. She goes. She like did a rattlesnake thing when
Yeah.
she was mad. Lily Tomlin's
Yeah.
Southern version.
Yeah.
Of her. Oh, that movie's so good.
Lily
Nobody
Tomlin.
talks about Big Business.
Nobody. They're
Bette
not allowed
Midler?
to.
I just want to shake. I have to put it down because I just want to shake it over and over. No, you'd live your life. You could shake it. I want you to accentuate parts of our episode.
I have the same addiction. I have to keep going to it. Should we go?
Wait. Yeah, we'll go and then I'll do it.
No, here, you should feel it. Give me the egg.
Okay.
Let's go to the letters. That's maybe the dumbest moment
just
that's ever
church.
occurred.
This is just.
It's church. It's got a lot of church
This
in it.
is just. Trying to think of like what's a good. What's a
good church? I'm trying to think what's a good religion.
No, I'm trying to think of like the songs that they would sing that were very like. You know, I told you that we
didn't have instruments at we just choir, just chorus.
Really?
Just
Oh,
a chorus.
we had it all.
Very old school Catholic.
Bless
Very unfun.
our friends, bless our food. Come, O Lord, and sit with us.
So all they did was just take Edelweiss.
And peace
They just copied
may
Edelweiss.
bloom and grow.
What came first, Edelweiss or this song that you're singing?
Edelweiss.
Edelweiss. Is that a thing?
It's a movie, I bet. And I bet there's a lot of volumes.
Edelweiss.
22.
Gentlemen.
Okay.
With an exclamation point. Gentlemen!
Yep.
Asterisk, however. Rory, Daniel, and potential guest. I'd just like to note that. We don't have a guest.
Whatever.
This is a Patreon. Not that we can't
They
have
just did
guests
it in
on
like
Patreons.
a weird alphabetical way.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
Alphabetical.
It's in a very weird alphabetical way.
Oh, it's off. Okay. First off, if I'm lucky enough to have this read, well, guess what? You are. Welcome to the letters. No one ever welcomes you to the letters. I like that. No one does welcome us.
Until now.
Anyway, in your recent episode, you talked to Jack Whitehall. Jack Whitehall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like he was just here yesterday. Up top about singing and how there might be a register for everyone, and that when they discover that, they can blow people away. Well, I think
Like
about
I did
this.
to him.
That's right. He was blown away. Well, I think about this all the time, but for all skills, jobs, talents, etc. Like, I'm a graphic designer, but that's because of the few things I tried. It's what stuck. But what if I tried everything? Would graphic design have still been the main skill? Like Imagine Dragons, that's written, that I have it in me to be really good at something like masonry, and I've never laid bricks to know. Do you two ever consider this too? You've answered the what would you do if you didn't do comedy question before, so I want it to be clear, this is much different. Like Roy, you have painting already, but what if you have it in your soul to be an excellent stained glass artisan? Or Daniel, what if you're a professional rower or something? I just think it's really fun to think of these things. I hope you can have fun too. I wish you well. Powler until next Wednesday. Like that a lot. Michael. T.S. I mentioned I'm a graphic designer, so I wanted to share some art I've done for the show. You mentioned potentially decorating that back wall of yours, so I wanted to give you some ammo for that endeavor. Now thinking about it, sending you actual prints would have been a better idea, so maybe that'll happen sometime soon. Ha ha ha. We have these here, and these are
Holy shit.
so good. These are great.
Dude, I love this.
Right?
You fuck with Boggle?
How
Now,
fun.
our pen pal Katie
Look at the G.
made us
Look how fun the
fuck
G
with
is.
Boggle shirt.
You have to do that to the G. What a creative way to get the G going.
That's a great.
What is that? That's visible there, right?
What would you
more,
do?
right?
What would you do with that?
These are classics.
Let me see
Gory
it.
Rory.
Oh yes, we've gotten this one before. That's
right.
saved in my phone right now. We texted that to each other. Is there another one?
I mean, how fun.
Yes, these have been sent to us. I love these. Is that the? That's
so
all.
good.
that's
There's
all-
tool is in there. How
Where?
fun is that? Right there. Little tool
Let me
there.
see this. Can I look?
You can look. You're allowed to look.
If there's not a cabin, there's a cabin. Who are the? Oh,
How could there not be?
who are these three people?
That is
You don't know either.
going to be. Well, there's Mr. Show. How fun is that? There's a lot of great references in there.
Fish is on here.
Yeah.
Nikes, a little raccoon.
Go. What's the next one? Who's that?
Oh, Daniel Spaniel.
You? Daniel Spaniel. Daniel Spaniel. I think that's it.
Little F2F on it.
Yep. How fun.
This should be on. This should be like.
Michael, you've done it. You've really created something. So thank you.
Yeah, that's
First off,
gorgeous.
thank you. Truly, those are crazy. But to answer your question, I do think we're probably all good at what
Accidental.
Was that the
Accidental.
iPad or
No,
was
no,
that
no,
the?
it's an accidental.
All right, watch out. Watch out, because if you go there, it's like Quick Draw, but for tambourines. That would be a great sketch. No one steal that. Let Daniel and I never shoot it. What do you think that's true? Do you think you're a professional rower? That's all I take from the question.
Okay. Have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No, but I heard it's great and I want to see it.
I fucking
The Daniels.
wish to God,
We
and
should
I know
get
I got
them
way
in
off
here.
mic there. Sorry, chat. I wish to God we could go see it together.
Okay. You have seen it.
I would watch you watch it. Yeah.
Oh, that's not.
I saw it a
creepy
couple
at
weeks
all.
ago. What do you mean? I watched you watch Dean.
Oh, that's right.
And last night at your house, I watched you. Never mind. So,
Wait, what? I kept saying, "Is that Daniel out there?"
and I was like, no. And you were like, okay.
Babe, is that Daniel outside our window or a beautiful sunset? That's what I see of the two. I'm like, God, whenever I see Daniel, I just see a beautiful orange and yellows and
that.
pinks and
love
purples
that.
and blues.
You haven't watched Breaking Point yet, right? The documentary series and the one about Marty Fish?
No.
Man. Do you think there's a world, Rory, where you go, I'm going to give every ounce of time and energy that I can
No.
to soccer where you could have played pro?
You know, I was going
You would
to
have gotten a shot. I'm not saying you'd be a fucking Hall of Famer.
when I graduated from college. My plan, maybe I've said this. My plan was to
Okay.
go to England and see if I could play at a low division and work my way up, just to see. That was going to be my last hurrah.
Yeah.
Not that I would ever go pro, but just to go. I don't really know what I want to do, but let's just see if anything comes of that. And that time, as soon as our season ended, going into the spring season, I just let myself go and didn't care anymore.
right.
And then I was like, you know what? And this is crazy to think about, but I was like, I've been doing this a long time. It's time to try something else. I realized just the other day, I have done stand-up comedy longer than when I played soccer from 5 to 23. I've now done stand-up
Longer.
longer. Isn't
Wow.
that crazy?
Yeah.
It's very bizarre to
So
think
you're ready
about.
to try something else.
So I'm ready to be a painter now. So now I'm a painter.
I wonder this a lot. I remember when I first learned chess, I had just seen the movie Searching for Bobby Fischer, and so I did wonder, like, what if I play chess and I'm amazing at it?
yeah.
I
mean, 10,000 hours. You think it's 10,000 hours with
Don't you think-
everything? There's got to be some extra ingredient.
I think there are. I would like to think everybody has something
They're
that
great
they
at.
don't need 10,000 hours for.
Yes, they're
And
great
I don't
'cause they're
care
great.
if
They're
it's even your job is perfectly dunking the Maker's Mark bottle into the wax. Like literally something about understanding how much you would need and the wax and the timing. You're better at that than you didn't need training. It just made sense to you.
Yeah.
It could also be basketball.
Yeah.
It could also be painting. It could be singing. But
You just get it.
that there's it could be something so like mowing a lawn. People are like, how do you keep your lawn?
There's a
Like, I
little
don't know. It
DNA
just
to
makes
that.
sense to me.
There's a little DNA.
So
to
I
that.
think I think that's a really way. What you just said, and then now that I'm thinking about it, is a great way to put it, in my opinion. Does everyone have something that they don't need 10,000 hours at
I think
to
so.
be great at?
I think so.
I think so too.
And it's sort of a tragedy when someone hasn't found that thing. Because
But it's also the most amazing thing when someone finds it. Like they could have gone a million different
Here's-
ways, but no, Michael Jordan played basketball.
what do
Steph
you
Curry
think the
played
percentage
basketball.
is of people who have that thing? So let's say we all have that thing. What do you think the percentage is of the people who have discovered that thing and they actually love it?
So small.
Do you think it's small?
Isn't that us?
Well, I think that. Well, I don't. Oh, I don't know. Like I love doing stand up. I love being an entertainer.
I'm not saying we don't benefit from 10,000 hours,
right.
but can we just? It's our own little Patreon here. Can we like?
It's our Patreon.
There are people who
You listen to. We get
There are-
real aggressive in the Patreon.
there are. Look, I'll go ego for a second. There are people who started before us.
Yeah.
There are people who started the same time as us,
Yes.
and it took them 7 to 8 years to get what maybe took us 2 or 3.
Sure. Well, what I
Like-
mean is the people who have, because maybe that this isn't their great thing. They just really want this. Like for instance,
But I'm saying we have that about comedy. I think yes, we'll
I know,
benefit.
but
from
what do you think of the
10,000 hours.
percentages of people who like love it? I feel like there's a lot that probably are like, you know what I'm really great at? I am really great at basketball. And you know what? I fucking hate basketball.
Or what if they're really great at basketball and then they don't grow, and they just stay 5'7", and they like,
Oh, they love it. Well, I think that
That's
happens,
sad.
but I think
Oh, it
they're
happens
great.
all the
They're great
time.
at it. So I think they're your Muggsy Bogues. They're your
Sure.
Spud Webbs.
sure.
And they go, "Oh, I'll still be great. I'll just be great playing
Yeah.
this position or doing this." Is there anything crazier than
Like
seeing footage of Spud Webb dunk a basketball?
I
Like
know.
it truly, him hanging from the rim should be the emblem for the NBA to go. Anything is possible. I mean, it is bizarre. He also won the dunk contest against Dominique Wilkins, his fucking teammate. That is so insane.
So is your knowledge of the dunk
Spud Webb
contest.
is so small. He's so small. He just is.
I
He's
think he
short.
was 5'8", 5'7".
He's short. He's like tall. He is so short. He is 6'5".
6'3". Let me ask you a question. Patrick Kane is
Yeah.
going to be regarded as the greatest North American,
Is that
I'm
true?
sorry, American-born hockey player of all time.
What's the other? Sidney Crosby? Who? Wayne
No,
Gretzky?
No, you're Canadian now, baby.
Oh, I thought you said North
But
America.
sorry, I did initially, and I
Yeah,
corrected to American.
Oh, who would be the greatest American?
Him.
Okay.
Eddie Olczyk held quite a few records and was
Yeah.
regarded as one of the best American-born players. Lisa, what would you like to say? Nothing. What would you like to say?
I don't want to say anything.
You use the microphone to say nothing.
She does.
That's when
Who?
she uses the microphone to
No.
say nothing.
I think that's fair.
Oh,
What?
I
Patrick
wasn't
Kane?
saying it argumentative. If you were like, actually, you're forgetting so and so, because hockey and Lissa, that's way more than that's like me and Rochelle. She knows so much
What
more
is
than I
Rochelle?
do. Shut the fuck.
So, Patrick Kane, go on.
I got you.
It's sad that you get me. Mine is closer. It's easier to get to. It's an easier object to grab.
I wonder, is there a person who would have been just as good, if not better, at hockey and has never put on ice skates?
I'm willing to say yes.
Isn't that sad? Is
Because here's the thing.
it? Joe
and
Pesci, Bronx Tale, saddest thing in life is a waste of talent.
Yeah, I think.
But is it if you didn't never know?
But also, and this is all this can ever be is philosophical. But if you are great at, is there something that has drawn you to it to know that? Like for instance, you were drawn to this life of entertainment, of being an entertainer. You were drawn to it, and it wasn't.
So you're saying if it's what you're born to do, you're
wasn't
drawn to it?
But that's what I wonder. I wonder, because when you watched a movie as a kid, and it's not necessarily Stand By Me. It's not necessarily that movie. But you saw something as a kid, either in a TV show or a movie or a stand-up comic or whatever. And it was this other thing that ignited this spark for you to, not that you thought you could do it, but to have an interest to even want to even work towards it. And when you got to later in life, there was something that sparked you to go, maybe I'm not going to fucking work with Jack Phillips. I'm going to actually step out of it and go take this risk doing this other thing. You had this thing that you were drawn to, not because you knew that you could do it, but you were so drawn to try it because of something.
So
that
you're
it makes
saying
me
that
wonder,
girl or boy would be drawn to putting skates on if they were born to do that.
I wonder.
Because they saw Mighty Ducks or like...
Yeah, so let's say Patrick Kane, and I have no idea what this, but let's just say, you know, and for wild convenience, let's just say he saw a Blackhawks game, and he was like, not only am I going to play hockey because I'm drawn to that, I actually want to play for that team, and I want to fucking do, and like, but having zero idea if he could do it. Or also, because I know nothing about Patrick Kane, what if he just had an older brother who was okay at hockey, and he was like, I want to also be okay at hockey like my brother, only because I want my brother to acknowledge me and respect me. And then he was like, whoa, all the adults are saying I'm like above average at this thing.
Yeah.
And this is also, God, we could go, there's so many roads for this.
I'm with you.
But then there's a world where he goes, how old is he? 30? He's young, right?
Probably, right? 33?
I think he's 33 or 34.
You know for a fact. You're trying to act like you don't know. Let's say he gets to 40 and he looks back on his life and he goes, you know what? I was amazing at hockey, and I realized the only reason I even loved it was the elation I felt when those adults would say, you're better than the other kids. And then people like, what do you love about hockey? And he's like, actually not even the sport at all. What I ended up loving was how people showered me with this feeling. And you just go, oh, well then in that case, you happen to be the greatest hockey player driven by this other, and I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing, driven by ego.
But you faced this when your dad passed away. You were like, why am I really doing this?
Yes. But he also, you could say, oh, well, what other thing could you have gotten that thing, that elation, and worked just as hard and proven that you were maybe great at that? Like, I wonder all of those little tiny intricate details.
Do you wonder if yours
brain.
is like stand-up acting or just going out into a crowd and like doing a good show?
Yeah, you
like,
know
what is the finest point of like what we're trying to do here where you're like,
you know what, painting, and I'm not even bullshitting you because I think about this all the time. What painting has truly made me change my perception to is just artist. Just going, oh, I think these things, and I am now able to calculate and see the things that I don't like about stand-up, where this outside source is getting in the way. We had talked about grading, critiques, reviews of a thing, where I think those things are obstacles towards art. Art should be bad. Art should be good. But it has to be all of those things. And I'm now entered this other space of going, well, this painting and this canvas can be whatever it is, because if I'm going with an abstract thing, it's probably coming from my subconscious, and I also sort of have no control over what maybe I do or don't make. I don't really know. And I think there's a part of me that's so tired of someone going, and this is specific because I just thought about it, but someone going, you know, Nanette's not really a comedy special, and going, who in the fuck are you to say what even it is at all? It other than a thing people enjoyed. Who are you to go, yeah, but I need her to know that this is not what it's supposed to look like or supposed to be. Yeah. Those are the most boring people in the world to me. When someone says, well, this is what stand-up comedy is supposed to be, or
and
what it's supposed to look like.
I'm not really hearing that about Gerard Carmichael's Nathaniel, because
I still have to see it.
I think there's
it's in that
all those people who said all that shit to her, they better line up to say it about his too. Yeah, and I love both of them. Of course, just for the record.
Of course. But also, and I had a feeling that that's probably the road it's going down, because I think a lot of specials are in that vein now, which means Nanette, which I understand is not her name, but Nanette should be heralded as like sort of a moment in saying this is the direction that this is a potential direction people should explore in making a comedy special, as opposed to going, well, this isn't what it should look like. Well, Bo Burnham did a similar more emotional, more honest, more raw thing, and it's amazing. The music's amazing, and the way that he did it in his house is fucking insane.
And I bet you if
he
somebody
also
goes to him,
directed
is it a special?
Gerard's.
He'd be like, whatever you want to call it, man. I don't. That's not my problem.
Yes. And he directed Gerard's and made, and I assumed when I saw just the small clip of it that he posted and I saw the picture, I was like, the fact that he sat down, I was like, I bet this is in that world. It's interesting you say that because I just kind of thought it. But there wasn't a part of me that goes, oh, I hope it's not, because I want it to be this other thing of stand-up. It's like, why don't you just let artists make the thing they're going to make? In this particular instance, it just happens to be this. Bo Burnham is a musician. He's also a writer. He's also a director. He's also an actor. And there's so many people I can name like this. Why tell any of them what the thing is should look like that they're doing? Don't you understand that doesn't lead to something interesting?
Right. It's all expression.
Your
painting is an expression.
Everybody should make something bad. That's how you know they're trying something. They're trying to do something. When you see a comic, someone said this forever ago when I first started. When you see a comic who crushes all the time, that's probably not a comedian. And whether that's true or not, it was enough for me to go,
it's okay to take risks.
Fucking risks and fail.
Somebody walked out of my Boston show and they're like, these two people left. I go, thank God. Because otherwise I'd be like, man, I'm just up here selling cotton candy. Like, you got to put some pepper in there. Like, I need something. And the guy, I guess he said, he goes, not for me. And he walked out.
Yeah, and you go, of course.
Good. That's okay.
If you were up
go
there, it might
find
not
the
be
thing
for
that's
me.
for you.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. Oh, I could go on and on about
Wait,
this.
but the last thing I have. So we spoke about the specific. Everybody could be great at something.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, the greatness that each person has.
Yeah.
But could every person bowl a 300? Could every person with training be a great graphic designer? I don't think so in that case, because there's artistry to that. Like,
well, no. I have an answer to that.
Michael envisioned how that fuck with Boggle would work, and he did that and laid it out in an aesthetic way that the colors is artistry. So I don't know that every person I think could be given those elements to do exactly what they're told to and put it together and make it look good.
Yes, I think.
But could everybody bowl 300? Could everybody bowl 300?
But that doesn't make everybody good at something. That makes someone great at something. And bowling that 300 might not be their thing that they're great at. But I will say everybody could be good at bowling. And if you said good at bowling is, I don't know what, a 140? What's good? What's like an average? Like, do you have to get to 200 for someone to go, oh, you're good?
I'm just guessing here. 180 to 200.
Let's say 180.
You're good at, you're good at
I
bowling.
think someone who goes, I don't even like
good.
bowling. I would say, I bet you could still get to 180 and be considered good by just putting in the time and having an open mind to learning it. And if you are capable, physically capable, that's obviously a physical capable thing. But I think for someone to bowl a 300, I go, that might actually be your thing. This might be the thing that you're great at, because that's crazy. Like Michael Jordan, it's without question. That's what he was great at. What is he good at? Steakhouses. He's good at them. He's not great at them.
But then you look at somebody like Kobe, who was like, I don't have Michael.
Yeah.
But I will work.
Yes.
So hard.
Yes. Yeah.
And he just outworked everybody else.
Yeah.
To get to being what was great.
Yeah.
Undeniably great.
Yeah.
But he could have just been good.
Yeah. I think it's a great question. It's definitely a philosophical one. Michael, this was awesome. Thank you for being a long time listener and supporter of this show. So much to the point where you sent us fucking incredible art. We will post that up on the Instagram, let people see it, especially that Boggle one. Get out of town.
That's great.
We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Rory Scovel
and Daniel Van Kirk.
Like they did in the old days, it wasn't so.
Is that annoying if I'm way too far ahead of it? Oh, and I wish you well. Oh, sign your pen pal. If I stay out in front of it, it gives the impression that I'm the lead singer and Patrick is the backup singer.
It gives me the impression that you're a pastor.
Oh.
That's how they do it.
Oh.
I don't think Catholicism?
Catholicisms.
I don't think they do that very much. But a lot of your praise and worship and your non-denominationals, Church of Christ type stuff, is they yell out the next thing, and then you know what's coming up.
Yeah.
Although a lot of times they also have the words on a big screen.
Yeah.
Were you You were never baptized later in life.
I was baptized,
Baby,
you know,
baby
when you
baptized.
do it.
Me
When you're
too.
supposed, if you want to go to heaven, when you were supposed to do it.
I did.
Anything past infancy, it's like you're not getting in.
You don't think?
You're going straight to hell, dude. Come on, get out. You're 40 and like I think I found God. I'm like, get out of here.
Can I
pal.
ask-
The only time to find God is before you have conscious thought.
You're free from sin. You need to do it when you're free from sin.
You got to do it when you're free from sin.
Also,
and as a
if you-
baby,
If you think about it, baptizing, you do want to do it after you've accrued some sin, right?
well, you want to accrue some sin, and also you want to have some perspective. You
You'd
want
think.
to. You also want it to be your choice, which it often isn't.
Do they dress
When
baby?
you get baptized as a baby, someone is going, "No, this child is Catholic."
When people have a baby boy or a baby girl, they dress them the same for their baptism. It's just like a
I think
little
so.
like
It's a gown.
future ghost outfit.
Future ghost gown, yeah, creepy ghost gown, but like super soft. It's fancy.
You have yours?
No, but I'm a godfather to
Oh, yeah.
numerous children.
How many?
I think 3.
Isn't the deal with godparents that that's who you go live with if your parents die?
That's the like thing. But who's to say if that's
Do
like
you
legit?
guys have people you've picked? If something happened, Elliot goes with them.
Yeah, we've done the will
It's
and
your
the
sister?
the estate stuff.
The
Yeah,
doctor?
I think so. Yeah, I think.
Feels
You
right.
think I would know like that information? You think that would be like, yeah, I could name it. That feels right. She's a doctor. Get out of here.
Right?
That way, if you get sick, you're good to go.
Do
Fewer medical bills.
Is there a male comic you would trust to raise your kid
Not
other
at all.
than me?
Not even you.
You're full of shit.
And then I go, let's go to the letter.
Do it. Do it.
Let's go to the letter. Ladies and gentlemen, this is pretty special. We're going to be reading off an iPad. We had a little technical difficulty today in the brand
We
new
didn't
studio.
have any technical
Look,
difficulties.
the studio is human as well. Okay, no one is
It's sentient?
flawless. It's sentient.
Sentient means what?
I don't
I
know.
don't know
I've
either.
always said
But it means something has
a
become
living being
aware
aware of itself.
at us, raised by the same TV.
Well, we're both referencing different things we heard in T2.
And Terminator Ever After. Is that one of them?
That can't be what Terminator Ever After is when they're like, look, we don't have any more titles.
I don't know. Terminator Ever After, that's when they bring in a prince.
Yes.
You have to.
Yeah, it gets
But is that just because Ever After is
Happily Ever After?
Amy Adams? And
Is that right?
And
Is that a real movie title? Ever After?
I'm 100% sure it is, but I can't think of the movie. Amy Adams and the guy from he's Cyclops.
Who?
Come on, you know who I'm talking about?
In Marvel? In
Yeah.
X-Men?
Yeah.
What is his name? Oh, Matt
No, it is
Madison.
Ooh.
Matson.
Oh.
Matt.
Ah. Come
Mitchie,
on.
Mitchie.
No.
Matchy.
Oh. Mike, it's not.
Crastus.
Don't let her
you know
do it. Of course she knows it. It's
Who
driving her
is it?
insane. You know what? Let's not do it. Somebody write us in. Tell us who
Yeah,
we're thinking
someone write us in and tell us who
It's
that
Lissa.
person is.
She's typing right now.
Oh, we just got a letter in real time.
It's not
Die
Tim
Hard really
Matheson.
dropped off with the titles. Like it became so like
Die Hard 2.
Die Hard 2
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
with a Vengeance.
Die
Good
Harder.
Day to Die Hard.
Yeah.
No, Die Hard 2 was Die Harder. Die Hard 2, Die Harder.
Yeah.
Die Hard 3 with a Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Right.
It was like Good Day to Die Hard.
That's pretty good. There is another one, right? There is 5.
It's like a July 4th one that's like
Really?
a patriotic more title. Just read the fucking guide.
What's that guy's name? You got us really close.
Somebody write us in about all the Die Hard titles.
There's no
Things
one
we can
in this
easily
studio
Google.
knows.
It's write us in with the name of the guy,
What is his name?
the Cyclops, and
Westworld.
all the Die Hard movies.
He's in Westworld. Okay, you ready?
An M is very prominent in the name, and I'm gonna and
You're right.
Son,
Yeah, you're right.
like Madison, but it's not
It's
Madison.
not Madison.
It's like Madsen.
Tim
Madsen. Chris Madsen. Chris Madsen.
Chris feels right.
Let's just say it's Chris Madsen
It's
and move on.
not.
It is. Let's move on.
That's a
Chris
Ford
Madsen.
dealership in Greenville.
Chris Madsen Toyota pickup.
Okay, only pickups. If you want a sedan,
If you want a
we are
Prius,
not.
we don't have it. We got pickups.
Do you want a Tacoma?
I'm Mad Matson. I'm Mad Chris Matson. And we got to make up.
What is that name? I don't even know if Ever After's the movie, but I think it is.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay. All right. My dearest pals, this is a response to that letter we got from a pen pal.
He's in the new Sonic movies.
Yep.
Okay, go on.
We know all of his work.
Michael Madsen.
It's not that. I thought that too.
Oh, I can't wait for someone to write us. All right, let's go before we don't even get.
Okay.
We
Nobody
do
in the
1 minute
studio knows
letter.
it. I know. We gotta go.
Speed letter.
Kate wrote us in. She's buying property. She's going off grid. She
Katie
said
B.
we could,
outside of Asheville, North
she
Carolina.
gave us vague things.
Yeah.
She said, "What would you guys want on it?"
Yeah,
One of our big things was go-karts.
Yep.
Okay. My dearest pals, thank you both so much for all the thoughtful input on our land project.
Yep.
That's fancy.
That
right?
is that's a very fancy way
Right.
to say it.
Your thoughts were not taken lightly.
Oh.
It's really important to me and all of us that this space we're creating is not only fitting for us and our families, but for others as well. And yes, I'm absolutely offering space for you guys each to build a place if that's ever something you'd like. I've been watching a lot of Station 11, and this is what I feel like is happening.
Okay.
Our intention is not only to create a space for us to live, but to host conferences, groups, classes, performances, and more. Your thoughts on creative spaces were particularly appreciated, and they align with some ideas I had brewing. The intention is to have at least one large 2-story community building that includes performance space, stage, sound system, projecting capabilities, etc., some living space for guests, as well as multi-use loft and library space.
Love it.
But at some point, and I say this as two founders, you're doing a cult.
Well, we have land, so we kind of can relate to this.
We're lords.
You're putting a cult together, and
The land itself-
and I'm here for it.
The land itself is rather hilly, so we intended...
This is the kind of cult I would get into.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, do we have to call it can it just be a club? And someone's like, it is a cult.
And there's no, like, forced orgies. If an orgy happens...
You go, that's not
part of the
because
cult.
the cult.
Right.
That's because we were horny,
Right.
which is human.
The land itself is rather hilly, so we're intending to create a terraced landscape which works for farming as well as living. Pictures included for reference on what that might look like someday. At this point, as far as living spaces, we're thinking of groups/pods of A-frame houses with basements that will be dispersed around the land. Pods, 2 to 5-ish, would consist of living spaces, outdoor community space, buildings for studios, art, music, writing, studio perhaps, and any other personal use that might be needed. Orgies. There are so many ideas for underground...
I'm wearing her hoodie that she sent us.
Yeah.
Right now.
I know.
This is a sign.
There are so many ideas for underground tunnels to connect pods of houses.
The go-karts can go
But
underground.
that's even more culty, though.
Oh, yeah.
If you ever have to yell, "They're in the tunnel!" You're in a cult. You're in a
Escaping.
cult. Yeah.
Get them. They're
Check
in the tunnel.
Check the tunnels. Personal space. Where was I? Connected pods of houses, outdoor spaces for performance, trails, tree houses, and just general fun time shenanigans, etc. Imagining you two zipping around on Batmobile go-karts filled my heart with such joy. I also really love the idea for a pond with a rope swing. Points to me.
Yep.
I'm putting that out into the universe. To address the how off the grid we talking question, the idea is to build and create spaces that can function comfortably and efficiently without electricity, but while it's still available in the world, we will absolutely have all the creature comforts: running water, plumbing, heat, internet, electricity, all that jazz, powered as sustainably as possible. Also,
jazz.
just for reference, the land is about 35 minutes outside of Asheville proper, about 45 minutes from the closest airport, and Charlotte is 2.5 hours away. We're out there, but not so out there that we can't get
30 minutes
in
from Asheville,
there
you're
when
good.
we want.
That's not out there.
Right.
That's comfortable.
I'll keep you updated, of course, and very much looking forward to hosting you guys and maybe a live pen pals and some stand-up out there in the coming years. Fingers crossed. I've also attached a few pictures taken in March before all the green came back in, and I'll happily answer any more questions next time we see each other or in another letter. With all the love and all the hugs, Kate Barnes. P.S. See you at Moon Tower. P.P.S.
Yeah.
See you at Come and Take It Festival in Houston. P.P.P.S. More hugs. Okay. That's it.
Okay. What was the name of this is not the first question to ask after reading this from a friend, but
You can scroll through some pics.
what was that's amazing.
Well, that's what they're going for. That's
Yeah,
not
but
there
I mean,
yet. But yeah, that's the Shire. That's Lord of the Rings
Shire.
shit. Yeah.
They're doing a Shire. What was the name of the cult? the HBO thing? The one that was just a big deal.
Oh,
the
hold
sex
on. We'll
cult.
think of it. Not Michael Madsen. Don't look at her.
It was
Valiance?
the Promise.
No.
Or something.
Valiance?
The Third Ring.
No, it was something with a V, I think.
No, that you're thinking of the name of the guy, like what they had to call him.
Oh, the Vanguard?
Vanguard.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what they had to
The
call
volleyball guy.
him. Volleyball. And like,
Another V.
here's the thing. I watched the whole doc.
What was the name of that
I
cult?
kind of liked the volleyball. I was like, that's fun.
Oh, volleyball's great.
Get me out there.
Right. When's the last time you got into a good game of volleyball?
It's been forever.
Dude, we do it down at the lake, up at the cabin.
Don't give me this cabin shit.
Whoa, it's so much fun, Roy.
I've got the brochure.
I haven't even told you
Can
about
I
Hooter
go
Ball.
home with my wife and let us talk numbers?
You gotta
before
act
keep
now,
pushing-
because if you guys get
Can
in
I
on
not
this
talk
on the
numbers?
ground floor, you know what I'm
My
talking about.
wife and I got to talk numbers.
Okay, but I can't guarantee this lifetime opportunity will be there in the future.
It's the vow.
The Vow, which is the name, but not the name of the cult.
That's the name of the
Documentary series.
Fuck, what's the name of the cult? Well,
What
this is
is
all
the
good
name
stuff.
of
We
the
got
cult?
Vanguard, we got Vow. Maybe it's a V. I see a
Volleyball.
pattern.
It's not.
What's the
It's
name
like
of it? It's
agency.
it starts with an N. I know it for a
Okay.
fact. It starts with an N.
Hold
and
on.
every time I say that, someone's like, "Actually, starts with an F." I'm like, "Yeah, that's right."
No, it starts with an N.
I think it starts with an N.
I think so too.
Nautilus.
That's what I thought.
That's my first and only guess.
Do you know what it is, Lisa?
What is it?
That-
Just
oh,
say
no,
it.
no, 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 no.
Someone
Does it
write
start
us
with
in
an N?
and tell us what it is.
It does start with an N.
It does start with an N.
Never. Nah.
You're also not wrong about the V thing.
Okay.
Navaste.
Not gonna work here anymore.
Navaste. All right, we'll have to think about it. God, what a cliffhanger for people who are like driving right now. And they're like, I can't.
There are people mad at us, right? They're still on the Mads Milkinson thing.
Mads Milkins. Maybe that's his name.
That's the clip.
Madskinson.
No, it's something, man.
Here's
it's not
what
Thomas.
Navananda.
Not necromancy.
I joined Namaste.
Nautical.
Nautical.
Look, if you're here, like if you're a Patreon member of Hell
Nah,
Potential,
it's
or you're a
nee.
patroni, like you're willing to sit with us. through
Navarro.
this.
Dave Navarro.
Oh, Navarro, you had something
Navarro.
there. Navient?
Navient.
It's not that. Naval?
Navient. Like,
We're so
but I'm
over
going to put this
time.
out there. Navient is for sure a cult somewhere.
Well, it's a student loan corporation.
But that is a cult.
they do get you in, and it's hard to
They
get
get-
out.
and you can't
It
get
is
out.
so hard to
can't-
get
don't
out. The
leave.
government's even
Little
like,
Hotel
says they're going to help
California.
people.
All right. Let's cut the bull.
Okay.
Kate,
Yeah.
we're obviously gonna take some of the
100%.
land. We are
You'll hear
current
from our
landowners in
entertainment
another
lawyers.
country,
Yeah.
so we kind of like we know the lingo,
Right.
we know the expectations, we know the etiquette, we know the terms.
Right.
So you can count on us. We already said this
James.
before. James Marsden.
Yeah! Look at us!
Yes.
Who do you think you are? We are!
We are Narveston. No, that's not it. Nope.
What is that? Dude, we got his name.
James Marsden.
Marsden.
You know what, Kate? No further questions. We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Rory Scovel.
Daniel Van Kirk.
What is it? What is the name?
It's Nexium.
Nexium!
But the U is a V.
Oh, that's right.
Wait, why would you think we would know? Lissa threw out a clue that was not a clue. I think Lissa's in the cult. And she's like, I don't want him to call out people publicly.
Dude,
Lissa, are you in Nexium?
I was
I
like,
think I would do it. And I go, look, The shady
For the
stuff,
volleyball.
it's awful. But the volleyball is so fun, and we play at 3 a.m. and we go on walks at 4 a.m.
You just talk about stuff.
When you go on a walk with the leader of the group and it's 4:30 in the morning,
Right.
then you go, "Oh, I'm okay."
You want it?
If you want, wait, how does it go?